The year 1904 was a turning point for Sibelius. The Finnish composer, known for his love for the good life, aside from his music of course, had pushed his family to a dangerous point, mainly because of his excessive drinking. As part of therapy, his wife and friends convinced him to buy a plot of land near Lake Tuursula. The plan was to move away from the city and give Sibelius a tranquil place to compose away from the temptations of the city itself. The Lando had no house, and a series of concerts was organized to help with the necessary funds to build one. And one of these concerts saw the premiere of the Romance in C Opus 42 in the city of Turku, conducted by Sibelius himself. Hello everyone, I'm Gianmaria Griglio and I welcome you to a new episode of Conducting Pills. If you're new here, this channel is all about classical music, score analysis and conducting tips. I want to thank all of my patrons for making this series possible, for your continuous appreciation and for your suggestions. And now, on with Sibelius. The Romance, written in 1903, is a short work lasting around 5 minutes, featuring the dense string writing of Sibelius. It's short in duration but not in emotions, ranging from angst to tenderness, from darkness to serenity. Sibelius begins with a powerful statement in a forte dynamic. First and second violins are in unison, playing on the G string, the lowest of the instrument. This confers a warm and dark quality to the sound. By title, the Romance is in C. However, this incipit uses the E minor melodic scale. Only the answer of the violas, cellos and basses brings in the C major harmony, which, given what preceded it, does not sound reassuring or sunny or anything that we generally tie this key to. The incipit is shortened, the scale changes to E minor harmonic with the C natural, and springs up an octave, acquiring even more power, landing again on a C major harmony. The line moves on in a piano dynamic, with heartbreaking sadness, eventually reaching the key of A minor. A small fragment, introduced by the first violins and the violas, is echoed by the basses. This alone speaks of desperation. This introductory Andante is left suspended. The first 4 bars are a sort of canon. While the violins and cellos introduce the line in C minor, though, the violas and basses imitate it half a bar later in E flat minor. Notice how the line moves down and then rises up, creating a turmoiling effect when the sections overlap. 2 bars later, the game is repeated on a flatted fifth. These harmonic uncertainties contribute to an atmosphere of anxiety, keeping us, the listeners, on our toes. The same musical idea generates the following phrase, where we come to understand that the E flat belongs to a diminished seventh built on the leading tone, the F sharp, of the dominant of C. Once again, the music is suspended after 4 bars. A new idea follows, sustained by a rhythmic accompaniment in pizzicato by the cellos and basses. Notice the triplets, adding tension to the phrase while overlapping the 8 notes duplets. This 4 bars phrase finishes with a crescendo, leading to a repetition of the same phrase a fourth higher. By the way, notice the symmetry that pervades this piece. This phrase, for example, can be split in 2 plus 2 bars, with the cell from the first bar coming back in the third. This very cell with the ending of the phrase is repeated once a step higher. And then becomes the material for a crescendo. Finally, exploding on a fortissimo dynamic in C major. Look at the orchestration. While the cellos and basses keep the C pedal, the line is played by the first violins and darkened by the violas 2 octaves lower. The second violins reinforce with triple and double stops, adding an A flat to keep the harmony from stabilizing. Once again, we're left suspended after 4 bars. The theme of this part is back, with the violins and violas now imitating the cellos and basses. And it's used to bridge to the tempo primo, where the material of the Andante returns in a circular way. Pretty much, the Andante is repeated as a whole, but in the end, instead of being left suspended, lands on a C major harmony. One last hint to the first cell of the un pochettino con moto is heard in the cellos, with the uncertainty of that B flat. And this romance finally comes to a peaceful ending, with a hint of darkness in the orchestration avoiding violins in the last bars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button right below this video and ring the bell so that you will get notified every time a new video comes out. For more in-depth analysis, conducting technique and conducting exercises, look on my website where you can find more than 100 videos and follow my Facebook group. And if you want to support this series, you're always welcome to do so on Patreon. All the links are in the description. Let me know in the comments what you think about this piece, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, and I will see you in the next episode of this series. In the meanwhile, please continue to enjoy music and be well.